Bungie finally made probably the best change I could possibly think of for the new season, and they actually made all the Dares of Eternity guns craftable. That's including the Wastelander, the BXR, the Eager Edge swords, and the grenade launcher and the trace rifle. And this is honestly just really awesome in my opinion, because the Wastelander is my favorite shotgun in the game, but I was just never able to get a god roll, and the BXR is probably one of the most unique guns that I've ever used in this game too, and the Eager Edge swords are just so fun to have. So in this video, I'm just going to be going into how to farm these guns kind of. Probably the god rolls that you should be looking for if you're not really wanting to craft the guns, or if you are going to craft them, what you should craft on them. And yeah, I mean, there's also a new origin trait. I'll be looking at that origin trait is what I'm going to be looking at first. It's called Hot Swap, and it's switching to this weapon while you are damaged strongly increases its handling for a short duration, and swords gain increased charge speed, guard resistance, and guard endurance instead. So honestly, I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of this origin trait. It's really nice if you're rocking 2 Dares of Eternity weapons, but honestly, I don't know, it depends on what the health threshold is. If it's anything like Pulse Monitor, I don't mind at all. That's honestly such a cool perk, except that this is basically Pulse Monitor but doesn't auto load. But for the Wastelander god roll, in my opinion, it's going to be full choke, accurized rounds, slide shot and opening shot, or maybe enhanced 1-2 punch, because enhanced 1-2 punch is just such a really good perk for dealing with like healing supers and things like that. But just for like a consistent daily use shotgun, I'm definitely going to be going with slide shot and opening shot. And then for the masterwork, I'm actually going to end up going with the handling masterwork, because once you pair that with quick charge, you're right at 100 handling, and then slide shot and opening shot gets you right to 100 range. So it really balances out, and you're not really wasting stats in any other category. It really just works out perfectly. That's why, in my opinion, the Wastelander was the best shotgun in the game, because you can really just min-max the gun so perfectly. But those perks were really hard to get. And for the enhanced versions of slide shot and opening shot, D2 Gunsmith doesn't really say what they do, but my best guess, it's a 10% increase, because that's almost what all the perks do. So on slide shot, we're probably looking at a 22 range, 32 stability. And for opening shot, we're looking at about 22 aim assist and about 28 range with the enhanced perk. It's not anything significant. Honestly, I'm just going to put the enhanced perks on there just so that I get the gold border on my gun, and so it looks really nice with the Trials Memento. For the BXR, we're going to be going with Arrowhead Break and Ricochet Rounds. Those are just really the perfect combination. Arrowhead Break gets it right to the 70, gets it from 70 recoil direction to 100. And then for the first column, snapshot sights did go away, which is really unfortunate. That was really just such a great perk. So in my opinion, you can really go with 3 options, maybe even 4 options here. The options are Killing Wind, Perpetual Motion, and the new Pugilist perk, which is basically Demolitionist but melee version, and then Heating Up, which is a really fun perk in my opinion. In the second slot, I'm going to go for Kill Clip probably, or maybe Eye of the Storm or Blunt Execution Rounds. The gun does have a new perk called Gunshot Straight, which increases body shot damage but decreases target acquisition. So that could be really interesting. We'll just have to see how it plays out. And then there's Incandescent, which is a really fun perk, but it's not too strong. And then on the BXR, the masterwork can really go to whatever you want. For the other half, honestly, the main thing I'm going to be putting on there is Eager Edge. For everything else, it's really up to you and what you want to use the weapon for. I really like Frenzy on the one I had. Vorpal's pretty nice for using in PvE. Whirlwind Blades, honestly, probably the best for PvE. Repulsor Brace is actually a really cool perk for them to put onto the weapon, but for just a consistent other half to be able to use in every activity, I'm probably going to go with Eager Edge plus Whirlwind Blade, because damage perks don't really matter in PvP, so that's why I'll be going with that. And for farming Dares of Eternity keys and the boxes, the best way to do it, honestly, is just knowing how to use the heavy ammo when it gives you infinite ammo. And in my opinion, I know people don't like doing this, but standing on the Cabal plate after the second room. The reason why you want to stand on that Cabal plate in the second room is because that's the longest room, and the other two rooms, the Hive room, you can't even use heavy on the boss, so there's really no point. And the Vex room, the boss doesn't have nearly as much health, and the entire fight doesn't go nearly as long. So in my opinion, to avoid staying in the activity longer than you'd probably want to farm as quickly as possible, you just hope to get that infinite ammo by standing on the Cabal plate and guessing it correctly. Or worst case scenario, you're just taking what you already have into the other encounters. And then for the encounter before that, if you just go through like the puzzle area through the top, as long as you pass through that and you take it nice and slow if you're not too sure with it, once you get to a certain point, you just get the buff and you basically just have infinite heavy ammo. And the heavy weapon you'll want to use is probably a rocket launcher. Any just huge damage, big ad clear, anything like that will really work. Machine guns are great, swords are fun, really anything. In my opinion, Gallahorn's the best, and now that the gun's basically free for this week, you know, you can just go around spamming Gallahorn and using really whatever build you want. In the background gameplay you can see me using Arc 3.0, and I'm kind of just messing around with it. It honestly seems really fun in my opinion. I was just spamming those storm nades on Titan and they seem insane. The thruster seems a little odd. I wish it was a little more, but I mean, it's whatever. And then there's a bug right now with Ballistic Slam and Fist of Havoc that just makes you go flying. And I was just kind of failed it the first couple times I tried it, but after a bit I got the hang of it. But I mean, yeah, there's just a lot of fun stuff, fun builds you can use in Dares right now with Arc 3.0. So yeah, that's kind of everything with Dares of Eternity. There's not really much else new with the mode, I guess. Just kind of the same thing, just some of the best weapons in the game are now craftable, which really does make everything just a lot better. I probably won't unequip the Wastelander once I get it, but it's just a matter of time until I get it, which is kind of the tough part. I'll definitely have a ton of build videos coming out the rest of this week, so feel free to subscribe if you're interested in that at all. The Warlock Getaway Artist build looks really fun right now, but yeah, I mean, that's everything for the Dares of Eternity stuff. Get to farming if you want these guns at all. And yeah, I mean, have fun doing it, and yeah, peace.